This is H. Victoria Hopper Atkinson, and I have been asked a question about a comment I made about the Reconstruction is not over yet, um, and we're in the process of completing that task. What I meant by that statement is that in when Lincoln was assassinated, he had a set of guidelines and laws directing the reconstruction of the South. Among that whole gambit of policies was the guarantee that all blacks would be free and equal in our societies. Blacks would be granted the right and privilege to vote and to live wherever they wanted. But as soon as he was assassinated, Andrew Johnson, who was the Southern born vice president at the time, became president, and he instituted his own form of Reconstruction, which meant that he gave back everything that we fought for. Uh, again, blacks were not allowed to vote, and again, they were restricted to where they could and could not live. Certain blacks had been elected to office. Many of those positions were taken away simply because of the color of their skin. So Reconstruction was never completed. Reconstruction was um, uh, interceded by this president who restored the dignity, which the once, sorry about that, that's my telephone, the dignity that, or he tried to get the dignity back for the Southerners, but that was a false sense because these people had lost the war. They had no rights, and most of them had lost their land. Atlanta had been burned to the ground, but in doing his own form of Reconstruction, he restored the South and its wealth and its privilege and its emphasis on white supremacy. So, and they introduced what is called the Black Codes, which we can get into another time. But that was something that stopped the Reconstruction period. So now, since they lost the war, but that loss was not acknowledged, then here we are today trying to redo, trying to continue, trying to reestablish the original Reconstruction that Abraham Lincoln and others had set up after the war was completed and the South lost. Here we are today, fighting for those rights. We want those statues removed because they are symbols of oppression. And my hat's off to the mayor of Baltimore. She took down every statue like in the middle of the night, which was really cool because she didn't have a riot. She didn't have a bunch of racist um, people coming there trying to make trouble. I mean, it was just done. And I think that should be done in every city in the United States. If there's anything that is Confederate, whether it's a flag, a pole, or statue, a carving, it should be removed and as quickly as possible. This is something we do not need to have in this country. And as always, if you sweep things under the rug, things pile up. So we want to make sure we make America a clean society where the rights and privileges of human beings are honored. So we have our work cut out for us. We have to make sure that those statues are taken down. We have to make sure that our people have liberty and justice and freedom and dignity under the laws of this country. That's our job. And we must see to it that the Reconstruction is completed as it was established when Lincoln died, not when Andrew Johnson came along and, did this real switch. They almost impeached him, I think, at one point. It was really a crazy time for this country as it is today. It's like the pendulum swings, and here we go again. You know? So it's a good thing, I think. It's unfortunate that the young woman was killed by these racist people who were hate mongers. Um, it's a pity and a shame she lost her life, but we must make her life, as others who have died in the struggle for equality in this country, we must honor her and honor anyone, all the people who are out there for all of us to guarantee that we get those rights back and we get those statues removed because they do not belong on public lands. So, write your state senators, write your governors, and if you have Confederate soldiers, Confederate statues, Confederate flags, whatever, they need to be removed. They lost the war. They did not win. They lost. And to those haters out there, we're not going anywhere. We are here. We're brave. We're strong, and we're intelligent. We're smart, and we have the right to be here. So you might as well hang it up, or like you tell us all the time, instead of us going back to Africa, why don't you go back to Nazi Germany and see if you can find that part of Germany that you love so much? If that's what you are aspiring to, it's not going to happen here. So let's everybody get to work. Let's talk about it. Let's argue. Let's write letters. Let's protest. Let's stand together. Blacks, white, green, purple, red. It does not matter what color you are. This is America. And we are going to have this country the way it was meant to be according to the Constitution and according to this Bill of Rights. Here we go. So I hope that answers your question, and I hope that gives you some background as to how we got here. The original Reconstruction was not completed, so we must do it now. Like I said, you sweep things under the rug, they soon began to smell, and that is the dirt and the filth of being an American as far as the history of this country. The hatred and the prejudice and racism has been hidden and swept under the rug and covered up so people will not see it. But guess what? It's here now. We got to face it, and we have to work through it. We have to talk about it. We have to fight it. We have to reestablish what America is supposed to be like for all people. So, thank you for listening. I hope that answers your question. And do me a favor while you're here. Like my channel, and also be sure to push the red button and join my electronic family. Okay, take care and love to you. God bless.